Hi there, I'm Katie and welcome to the show. Today we're joined by Becky James, who's going to be showing us some die cutting techniques to create the cutest little shaped owl card. Hi Becky, welcome along today.
Hi Katie.
Now you've got a very cute little owl card you're going to be showing us today, haven't you?
Yeah.
He is just adorable.
He is.
Now, what's first? Let's get started.
Right, well first of all I think what we'll do is we'll just talk about him and the papers I've used, because we've actually used the Pippinwood Papers, which are a Christmas range, but he is not Christmassy at all.
No, he's not.
And that's because there are actually some of the papers in here. Let's get to them. There's the stripe.
Stripes is awesome.
Yeah, and we've got the little flowers there.
Is nice.
And we've also got the little blue. They're snowflakes, I know, but actually when you use them in the project, you don't actually notice that.
Oh, there's a nice dot one there.
And there's a dot.
Nice.
There's dots as well. So with this range, even though you have got your Christmassy sort of designs there with your garlands and your Christmas lights and poinsettias and things, you can actually use this to make other projects, and I love that because I love to get value for money. If it's something I can use all year round, it's going to be a great buy.
Because it's a great everyday colour scheme as well, isn't it?
Absolutely,
beautiful.
It is. Now we're going to move on to the die, and I have to say I absolutely love this little die set. He's so adorable. But what we're actually going to do is cut the main body, and I'm doing it in white so that it's easier for everybody to see the little feathery bits. But he's got a ruffly tummy, which I just think is so cute. So what we're going to do, pop the die down, pop our card on top, and then we'll run that through. That's it. And if you open that up, Katie, he should all be die cut out of there, and we can pop him out. That's it. And that little dark bit in the air, in the centre there, what it does is it gives you all his little feathers so that you can just, and I love little elements like that just make things so much fun, I think.
That's really good.
Yeah,
it's
so
not just a flat die cut.
Exactly.
I mean, you can add texture and things anyway, can't you? But that's really clever.
Yeah, so you've got his little tummy,
Very nice.
and his wings come down around the outside. So what I've done here is, obviously I'm using the paper, but I've die cut again in a piece of white card, so that I've got the base layer of my card really, because we're having to construct this card from scratch. Now I'm using glue dots here because there are lots of detailed areas, and the glue dots will go right to the edge of those, and I'm sticking them down. So right to the edge of his little feathery ear bits there.
That's so cute.
He is, and I'm just layering that on top of my card, and that will just give me my base, just give me a nice strong base. So, and if you want to, from there you can lift up his little feathery bits there, his little feathery tummies. I'm actually going to, I'm going to show you later. I'm not. We're going to put a greeting actually in the centre there, so I'm not going to layer those up. But you just pop them up, just basically bend it a little bit, and they'll pop up, and you can just lift them up a bit.
Very nice.
So now the next bit we're going to do is to make the top part of the card. And we're going to give him a little acetate belly, as I say, so we can see right the way through.
And Xpress does a great job of cutting through acetate, doesn't it? It's not a problem at all.
No. When you do, you use your metal shim as well, and it tells you that in the instructions, and it'll give you your guide that you need to as well. Now, I've already made one half, which is the front bit, because this is see-through, I'm going to cover the back. So I'm basically going to show you how to make this, but it's going to go on the back as well.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, we're going to have to take the centre bit out. So first of all, I'm going to take the second layer of the owl, which is the bit that's got his feathery little wings on. And I'm going to stick that on top of the front.
Okay.
And it's fairly evident, his little ear bits, his little ear tufts is where you stick it down. And go from there. There you go. So you can start to see. So if you were doing him as a topper on the front of a card, this is what you would do. This would be your next level. What we're actually going to do though is cut the centre bit out.
Ah, okay.
So that's really how simple that bit is. Now this bit's going to go on the back, but just to show you, just to highlight where the feathers are, because you will actually see with the feathers on the wings right the way through to the paper underneath. So when you're doing it, think about that, because you want something that's contrasting and you're going to see through. But what I've done is just add some little 2mm pale blue gems into there, just to add a little bit of shine to it. You know me, I do love my little bit of bling. So what we're going to do now is make the top part of the card construction. So all I'm going to do, again, just pop your glue dots on, And I'm going to show you how to put it together. And this is the back, so I'm just going to doing the same thing. We're just layering up the design.
Lovely.
There we go. And we just go. Now you can see the glue through. As you can
I see what
and
you
that's
mean,
why
yeah.
I'm doing both layers. Right, and let's just pop that. Now what we need to do is I need somehow to have the card opening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little score line on here, and it's quite tight to the top because if you do it too far down, it's not going to hinge. The card is actually going to hinge at a funny angle.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is from the bottom of his ear tuft to the other bottom of his ear tuft, I'm going to score.
Okay.
Now as you can see, it is quite close to the top, but it will hold in place. He's quite sturdy, so you don't need to worry about it. Now, for speed, I'm going to use glue dots to do this, but for the one that I made, so that it's nice and strong, I'm actually using a stick-it glue pen. And what you'll have to do is either peg it for a few minutes or hold it in place, and you'll just glue above that score line and then layer on top the way I'm going to do with the glue pen. But you just need to hold it for a few minutes. But for speed, I'm going to use my glue dots. And all we're going to do is line up. And that is our owl card blank put together. And you'll just find if you fold that back, he'll stand up nicely.
Look at him.
Now then, that actually is the little bit that goes on to define his face.
Oh, yes.
So I've already done that. It's got a few little gems. I used the little green paper with the flowers on to do this bit. And I've already got some 3D foam on. Right, I'm just going to pop a little bit of my glue stick on the top there, just because this is so delicate, and if I get it in the wrong place, I want to be able to move it. So
just gives you enough sort of scope to move them around. It does.
It just gives you see. There we go. And then I'm just going to put. There's an also. It's not a perfect circle, but it's actually if you hold the die, it's this.
Yeah, there it is.
Is this one there, and that just gives you the base of his eyes. Now you'll see when I stick his eyes together that you'll only see a little bit of this from underneath, but it's enough to actually just show through and look really nice. Yeah. And I did try it without, and it really does make the difference. So you see there's his eyes now. So for his eyes, what I've done is I've chosen, now these are Papermania Cogs packs. Yeah. There we go. So just a bit of hot glue, and we'll just pop that in underneath there and on top there, and you'll see the green coming through underneath.
Yeah, you can really see it.
And for the centre of his eyes, I've actually chosen, these are little buttons in craft Christmas button and ribbon packs, and I just love them. They're so pretty. These definitely are an all-round type of design, aren't they? So, and then just the centre of his eyes there, these little blue. These pale blue gems are actually a perfect colour to go with the blue paper.
It does actually, yeah, it's a perfect match.
So there's his little eyes, and now we're going to put his face together. And he's just his little beak, and we're going to put his feet on so that he's got something to stand on.
Another die, isn't
they
it?
are,
so
yeah, it's the tiniest little die that's in there. So yeah, no, it's lovely. And I've just shaped it a little bit so that it's got a little bit of bend on it. So. And that just goes in between his eyes, on just below the little sort of eyebrows, as we said earlier on. There we go. So that goes in there. So you can just see that.
Oh, there he looks. He looks more complete now, doesn't he?
He does. He's actually got a face. He's got character now. And then I've got my little feet here. So I'm just going to pop those on there. A little bit of hot melt glue. Now I've actually cut 6 of them so that I've got, again, like I did with the body, I've got something that hides underneath where the glue is. So hold on.
It's the last foot.
His last foot. And then I've got one finishing touch for him, and then we'll just talk about the sentiment underneath. I've got a little bow tie. I just thought you had to have a little bow tie.
Is that a Botanicals one?
No, this is an O'Donnell.
Oh, it is O'Donnell.
It's O'Donnell, but I have done my usual and inked it. Now, what I've done in the one that we started off with is I've actually added a little sentiment with, or a little greeting with the Botanicals mini alphabet stickers.
Which we love.
We do, we really love these. But you could also use a die cut sentiment from the die cut sentiment pack. So, you know, anything that you want to there, just make sure that it fits within your, his little tummy.
Okay, oh well, thank you so much for showing us that.
It's a pleasure.
It's perhaps the cutest project I've seen for a little while. I mean, he's absolutely lovely. If you've enjoyed Becky's project, we'd love for you to leave us a comment, either on the video or over on Becky's project on docrafts.com as well. Why not let us know what you'd like to see on a future episode of In the Studio as well. We're always keen to answer people's questions as well, aren't we? We'd also love if you maybe would like to follow our Facebook page. It's the perfect way of keeping up to date with everything that's going on with docrafts. The details of the page are on screen now. Until next time, happy crafting.